What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna take a look at this brand new 2022 Kia K5. Huge shout out and thank you to Kia for providing this K5 for today's video. Check them out, I'll have their website down in the description below. And the model that we're looking at today has the EX Premium package, is finished off in everlasting silver, and has an MSRP at $33,300. Underneath the hood, the K5 features a 1.6 liter inline 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. It pumps out 185 horsepower and 195 pound-feet of torque. The power is sent to the front wheels through the 8-speed automatic transmission. And with a curb weight around 3,200 pounds and running on a 14.8 gallon fuel tank, you're looking at 27 miles per gallon in the city with 37 out on the highway. The overall length is 193.1 inches with wheelbase at 112.2, height is 56.9, and width is 73.2 inches. And the K5 also features ventilated disc brakes up front and solid rear discs. If we take a look at the exterior styling with this 2022 Kia K5, first new thing you're going to notice is the new Kia logo right up front on the farthest part of this hood. It has a really cool aluminum design and it's much sleeker than previous generations. You can see below that we have this massive grille finished off in a really cool mesh design. There's also a forward-facing camera in it. This has a really nice set of LED headlights with LED daytime running lights. The running lights span from the front fenders and cut around and then go underneath these headlights. And I really love how you have 4 individual LEDs for the headlights. There's 4 parking sensors up front and a lower safety sensor right in this lower grille. And then you can see some sharp cutouts finished off in body color cutting their way into this lower grille. The farthest parts of the bumper have more gloss black trim, and these are actually functional air inlets to allow air to pass through the front bumper and out around the front tires for better efficiency and aerodynamics. The front end of the K5 really does have an aggressive sporty design, and it all flows seamlessly to this hood. You'll see really sharp lines on the sides of this Kia logo that fade away towards the top of the hood, and the entire hood is almost a clamshell design spanning all the way from one tire to the next. Moving to the side profile, we get a set of 18-inch wheels. They're a 5-spoke design and they are a 2-tone color. We have metallic gray and machined silver. The side profile has a very classy design, and I love how the roofline slopes down into the trunk. You can even see this chrome trim going around the upper portion of the side windows that even cuts its way around the rear trunk lid. This has a set of body-colored door handles and body-colored mirror caps with an integrated LED turn signal. There's also a side view camera for the 360 camera view, and then gloss black trim on the lower sides. There's all gloss black trim around the windows to make all of the glass blend seamlessly, and really sleek body lines going across this entire side profile. There's a sharp line underneath the side door handles, as well as another line in the lower portion of the doors, and I like how the fenders even have their own line running around them just to emphasize the wheels. This car also has the optional panoramic sunroof, and you can see the 2 glass panels on the roof. And then moving to the rear end, you can see that chrome trim wrapping around this rear window in a little bit better detail. You can see a nice integrated ducktail spoiler shape to this rear trunk lid, and then the new Kia badge on the face of this lip. This has a huge LED taillight spanning the entire width of the rear end, and I love how there's individual lights that'll light up when you do have your headlights on. We have halogen turn signal bulbs on the farthest ends, and it really gives it a clean design. Right in the center of this LED light, there's a standard backup camera as well as a trunk release button. You get the K5 logo over on the left, and then 4 parking sensors within the rear bumper. The whole rear diffuser is finished off in more gloss black with some brushed aluminum accents. You get 3 fins in the center to give it a sporty look, and this trim even mimics exhaust pipes. So there's a good look at the exterior and some of the specs on the 2022 Kia K5. This color looks really cool in person especially, and then this is a really nice spec. We have Kia's key fob with the new Kia logo, and all the buttons are on the side, kind of looking like a trigger. If your lock button up top, I can go ahead and walk up to the vehicle with it locked. Just by grabbing the door handle and pressing the button, we can unlock it and check out the interior. This spec has a gray leather interior. You're also going to see wood grain accents, aluminum colors, and black trim everywhere. Taking a look at the door panel now, finished off mostly in black. We get some silver accent with this really cool looking textured wood trim. We have an aluminum colored release handle up top, memory seating as well as part of the speaker, all of your window controls and mirror controls, and then some of the gray leather right here for your armrest. We have some good padding and a very large grab handle. There's some gloss black trim, Bose audio, and then a little bit of storage. And then moving our way inside, we have K5 along this door sill, and then all of the power controls for the seat right on this left side. We have really nice gray leather with the same stitching, and then all perforated leather in the center with a cool looking stripe with a different texture. Really good looking seats. I like how simple they are, and yet they look nice and classy. Then if we take a look at the steering wheel, finished off in black leather with all the aluminum accents. And then now inside the K5, keeping my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and fire it up. Taking a look at the gauge cluster now, we have an analog speedometer to the right with your fuel level, and then the tachometer and engine temperature on the left. There is a small LCD screen right in the center, and you can control that using the buttons on the steering wheel to the right. Looking at the screen in this view, you can see your digital speedometer, and then you can see tire pressure. If I tap the pages icon, we can see your drive mode. You can scroll through this to see many different things. And then continuing over, if I tap the button again, we have a compass that'll pop up. Then you have some safety settings like your lane keeping, and then your attention level will come up as well. So I like how you do get a few basic things in that LCD screen. Looking at the steering wheel now, we have controls over on the left for Bluetooth and audio, and then to the right we have all of your cruise control settings, and then some of the information that we just saw. We have your windshield wiper stock to the right side, and then the turn signal and high beams over on the left with all of your headlight controls. To the left of the actual steering wheel, we have your lane keeping assist, traction control, and the interior dimming, and then a trunk release button. You can see some of the wood trim going around to the door, and then one of your air vents with silver trim. I really like how you'll notice this center infotainment screen actually flows its way into the gauge cluster. It's a really cool fluid way with all this gloss black. Along the dashboard, we also have more of this black leather material with some cool stitching, and a really nice shelf-like design with more of this textured wood trim. Gives us a nice premium look. Taking a look at the center screen now, this is a huge LCD screen. If I swipe over, you can see all the different things that will come up. We have your navigation that will come up with the map. You can also have it split into two different things. Very HD view, pinch to zoom, super easy to use. Home button over on this left side. We have a few more things like radio and media. You can have random sounds of nature come up if you just want to enjoy a more relaxing drive. Kind of a cool feature for this car. And continuing over, we have voice memos, climate controls, a few other things. If we go under the climate now, you can see some of the information that will come up on this screen. Then if I go ahead and take the car and put us into reverse, your standard backup camera is going to come up. You can see the top-down view over on the right side with all of the guidelines, so I like how good everything looks. You can toggle this, you can see a close-up of the tires. We can have a top-down view, and you can go under settings and change a few different items. And then we go back into park. Below the actual screen, we have some of your air vents as well as the hazard control, a really cool texture material on this aluminum colored accent piece. Then all the climate controls are down below. You can see an LCD screen right in the center. We have automatic climate, you have dual zone that you can sync. Fan speed is right in the center, and you can see the LCD corresponding to that. We also have your different modes very conveniently right here. All the recirc and air conditioning, and then all the defrost as well as an off. And then down here we have a little bit of storage with the USB port. You can open that up for a 12 volt. And then taking a look at the actual shifter, we have a nice black leather shift boot. Two of your cup holders are over on this right side. And then we get a lot of settings right in the center. We have your parking sensors that you can turn on and off. We have a camera view button and an electronic parking brake. Heated and ventilated seats, you just toggle these up or toggle them down depending on what you would like. Heated steering wheel. Then your drive mode selector, you just toggle this left and right. It comes up on this center screen. You can see we have a smart mode, a normal mode, a sport mode, and then custom. So very cool how there's different drive modes for this car. The wireless charging is right here in the center console. Then we have the same gray leather on the center armrest. Opening this up, we have quite a lot of storage space in here with a USB port, and then even on the wireless charging, there's an area where your phone can slide down into it to really lock itself into place. Go ahead and close that. The glove box is over on this right side, and you have a pretty good amount of space in here like you would expect. And then one last look at this interior. I think Kia did a really good job making the K5 look nice and sporty. Has a lot of good trim pieces, use of materials, looks really nice. Definitely looks like a nice upscale car. Up on top of the ceiling now, you can see the sun visor right now for the entire panoramic roof. All the controls are up front. If I just put this back, this opens up very quickly, and you can see the glass also opening up with it. And then to take a look at the rear seat space, I can go ahead and open up this door. The door panel is finished off just like we saw up front with the same wood trim and silver accents. You even get a nice stitching design and then the same type of armrest. We have your window control right here. Then entering inside, we have the same leather design with all the stitching and perforated leather right in the center. This is a 3-row bench seat back here. We do get some storage on the backside of the front seats, and then we have your climate control vents and 2 USB ports right in the center. All right, sitting now in the backseat of the Kia K5. Now, if you're new to the brand, this is replacing the Kia Optima from a few years ago. So this is a pretty good size sedan, not the smallest, but not the biggest. This is really roomy in here. I do love how we get the panoramic sunroof. And of course, with this opened up, you have a huge piece of glass to really make this nice and inviting in here. You have a lot of glass on your left side, and this little window right here gives you some extra visibility even as a passenger. Armrest is in a pretty good place, and the recline of these seats is really nice. It's actually pretty comfortable. Large window in the back, and then opening up the centerpiece, you have a nice armrest right here with 2 more cup holders, and we can pull that out of the way. We have a fixed headrest right in the center, and then the side ones do go up and down. Taking a look at the trunk space now, you have a button on the key fob, the one in the interior, or you can just go right up to it and press this button. It'll automatically open up. It's spring assisted, so it's very easy. We have a huge trunk in here, a very nice low load floor, and then a really tall ceiling to fit a ton of items. And then we can manually pull these and fold down the seats. And with the seats folded down, you can see just how much more storage space we have in the back of a K5. They fold down nearly flat as well, and the opening to the trunk is a pretty good size to fit larger items. And then there's a ton of space still in front of these seats. All right, guys, so we are setting off in the 2022 Kia K5. This is a really nice interior. I wasn't expecting the EX to be this nice. I really like all the colored leather you get. The gray accent, I think, looks really good against all the black. And then the wood trim looks really nice as well. I think Kia really has been killing it, especially in the last decade. And now for the 2022 lineup, they're just taking it up another notch. I think you really get a ton of value for the money when you buy one of these cars. If you just want a reliable, comfortable sedan for the family that's a very affordable price point, Kia is a great option to go for. Well, of course, it's not real leather and real wood in here. It's not a Mercedes or something like that. This is really good feeling in here. So it definitely feels much nicer than even the price point would think. So let's play with some of the drive modes. We'll go into the sport mode and see a little bit about what it's like to drive. We can shift manually using the shifter. So we'll test that out. So then getting up to some speed. You know, that's up to 50, not too bad. It doesn't really stress the engine too much. It's got a little bit of pep in its step, and the shifter is a little bit delayed. It's not a sports car, obviously. So we'll toggle it back down to the normal mode, automatic. Obviously, people buying this are not exactly gonna be ripping on it, shifting the gears and everything, but it's nice to know that this car does have enough power to get up to speed. Front wheel drive is great, especially if you're gonna be driving this in any type of snow or rain. You don't have to worry about spinning out. So we'll do another acceleration real quick as we feel out the car, just in normal drive, slowly get up to speed. That's 40 miles an hour, shifting around 4,000 RPM, so this is a good car, just get up and go. As far as the interior comfort, you can get these automatic seats in a really good position. The armrests are in a really great place, and you have a really good view around this car. The rear view mirror is huge. That whole window in the back is actually really large. I like the windows you get up front here, and the mirrors do a good job. So you have a really good front view, looking over your left and right shoulders. Those little windows that I showed in the back seat actually really help with your visibility. This is a really good, easy car to drive. I also love if you just tap this once, the entire sunshade will go all the way back. That way you can either have the roof open or just have the sunshade, and it goes back in like 4 seconds. Most cars, that takes forever. So that is really nice, just how much more open this car feels with that roof opened up. And I like how with this car, it's a good sizing. Like I said, you know, I'm 5'11", driving comfortably. I can maneuver the seat way closer or way farther back, depending on how tall I was. Same with the back seats. I had plenty of legroom and headroom. So I think this car for the family, if you just want a nice, basic, still very nicely appointed family sedan, this is a way to go. So as far as using the interior while driving in the K5, the buttons along the steering wheel are pretty large, so it's really easy to tap. You can tap this one right here for the steering intervention, which is really nice to have. You also have the forward collision over on this right side with the front end distance spacing. The touchscreen itself, I like the contrast with the purple LEDs and then along the black background, so it's pretty easy to use. You have the shortcuts on the sides, so I like how this car is user-friendly. You know, if you're not crazy into all the crazy tech, I think this car has the simple basics out of the way. Physical buttons for the most part, really no touch sensitive buttons, which I think makes it a little bit more simple to use. And then looking around, like I said, with visibility, really nice view around. And I especially like the gray. I think that makes this car look even more lighter on the interior, which just makes it a little bit more open to drive. There's a little bit of body roll, but quite honestly, you know, this is not a sports car or anything. It absorbs the bumps well, hitting all these little bumps in this road. Brakes do a good job. I think it's a pretty solidly built car. And then getting up to speed a little bit quicker. You feel a little bit of torque steer if you get on the gas more, but nonetheless, you know, it gets up to speed. I also like how with this car, that was the forward collision, as a guy takes a long time to make a turn, but you have all the safety features like the forward collision, you know, the radar cruise control, things like that with that front sensor. So I think that's about it then for the 2022 Kia K5 EX. Really nice overall vehicle. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, and stay tuned for plenty more content to come. And then huge shout out and thank you once again to K5 Kia for providing this car for today's video. They have a huge selection of brand new Kias ready to go, so definitely check them out. So that is it, guys. I will see you next video.